James is. I hope they take that and keep the original unique qualities to the culture that their game has produced, because it is a gaming culture. It is a culture. Dota is a very old game. You can't expect the community and the culture around it to change because you release a sequel to it. And I hope they embrace that a bit, and they keep things improv, and they don't go completely corporate with the international and their big tournaments. There is a certain amount of professionalism that you have to keep, but you can also become a bit lenient. Yeah. So, but on a side note, and they do critique, and yeah, and you never see that. So, another good point, Valve's hosts weren't afraid, and their analysts, he wasn't afraid to critique players going forward, 2GD and the other hosts. Whereas you don't really get that in League of Legends. You don't get the goods and the bads. You just get this very PC style commentating, but which people like to see players torn apart for the idiot mistakes they're doing. Look at Monte Cristo in Korea. Look at the CS:GO community. They like for things to be picked apart and explained what's going wrong, which you also get in soccer and in football to an extent, depending on who the casters are. Tennis, basketball, so on. So it's going to be interesting seeing where Valve goes forward with this, and seeing what Valve decides to do and what Gabe Newhall decides to do, because he's got a bunch of other tournaments that he signed up for Valve to push forward, and this is where the community starts to fight back. This is where the community starts to say, no, we want people like James, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. It also worries me on how they're going to stretch this in the other games, CS:GO in particular. Now, CS:GO has its roughnecks. It has Richard Lewis, and it has Thorin, and quite possibly from this whole issue that's arisen around James, the best possible thing for the community came up. Now we have a hero in the CSGO community. He's a man who's not afraid to step up and get on Twitter and furiously type to those who he thinks are wrong. He's not afraid to get up there and be the voice of reason, the voice that we the people deserve. This man is a hero and may soon be a martyr, depending on how far this goes. I present to you the hero that we don't need, but the hero that we deserve. Thorin. Thorin got online and goes, "Come at me, GabN." Now, this is in response to the 2G being fired for his being rude, right? For his issues that he had on stream. And Thorin is very outspoken in the CSGO community and in the League community. He's constantly tearing apart Riot for their move towards a professional series and move towards professionalism. And now he's looking at the CSGO community with Valve putting their hand in the Dota and removing 2GD from their event. What's to say they're not going to, move their hands into the CSGO? Granted, a lot of the CSGO tournaments are still independent. So now he's made a statement, "Come at me, GabN." This is really funny to me. And now, Gabe, if I can give you some advice, don't fight Thorin on Twitter. That's his homeland. That's where he grew. He didn't see the light of Facebook until he was already a man. See, now, Thorin stalks the depths of Twitter looking for prey, looking for these. You might even say he's the alpha predator of Twitter. So instead, I say call him up to where you are in Bellevue. Have him meet you face to face and have a trial by combat. And I want you to stream it. Stream it for everybody to see. That way we can have the immovable blob GabN versus the unstoppable force Thorin in a 1v1 match. And here is where we'll find out what's truly stronger. The Iron Fist of Valve or the Silver Tongue of Thorin. In the immortal words of that one dude in Godzilla, why don't we